What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Camarray, and I am super excited for y'all to be here with me on tonight. This is week number 3, and I'm so ecstatic that y'all are here with me tonight. Tonight is going to be an incredible show because I have an incredible guest with me here tonight. All right. Now, I want to invite you guys to please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you click that subscription button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss any of our fly content. Please, right now, right where you are, give us a thumbs up. You already are going to like the video. I'm telling you, you're going to like it. I know you're going to love it. All right. Please also drop down in the comments. Let's get active in the comments. Talk to me. I talk to you. Let's make this thing what it is. All right. And last but not least, please share this content with your family and your friends. Let's make this thing global. We are on our way to greater and greater, bigger and bigger things, all right? Now, we could not get started without taking our first sip of the night. If you are out there drinking, I encourage you to drink responsibly. But hey, it's a nighttime show, so we like to, you know what I'm saying, take advantage of the cock and the tail, all right? All right. So, with tonight's guest, I want to introduce not only a dear friend of mine, but one of the most incredible vocalists, songwriters, artists, period, that I have ever met. We can go back and forth about who's the greatest and all of that, but I'm telling you, my guest tonight is something special. She's sure to drop some wisdom, sure to drop some knowledge, hailing all the way from Chicago, Illinois. I don't want to delay this intro any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together from your bed, from your couch, from the toilet, wherever you are. Put your holy hands together and bless God. I'm taking a little churchy. But please give it up for my guest, Miss Teeya Skipper.
Yes. Come on, intro. Yes. Listen, I live.
What up, T?
Hey, boo.
I'm going to try to get all the silliness and all the fun part out of the way. When Teeya and I get together, it can be a little crazy. We've known each other for quite some time. So, you know, we're going to get all that fun stuff out of the way. But I know tonight is going to be an incredible night. She's going to be able to impart some incredible wisdom. Something to make you say, I never thought about that. And if you didn't know, Teeya has a brand new album dropping tonight at midnight titled Here Now. And I'm so excited to hear this music. I'm overjoyed that she is back. It's been a while since she's dropped new music. So, Teeya, thank you so much for coming and joining me on The Report.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited.
Are you? And you turn. What's in that glass, child?
I got a little vodka, mixed with a little fruit punch and a little orange juice, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, a little tropical punch. Come on.
Yeah, just for a little punch.
Okay.
All right, so Teeya, we're going to jump straight in. I want to jump right into the questions and go straight in. Some people may know you. Some people may be getting to know you. So I want to go back. I want to go back to the beginning. I want to talk about some of your first. So, Teeya, do you remember your first time hitting the stage?
Like ever in life?
Ever in life.
Like as an independent artist, like.
No, like your first time ever grabbing a mic. Like you might have even, I don't know, you might have been singing Mary Had a Little Lamb or This Little Light of Mine. I don't know. Do you remember that first?
It was at church and I was super young, so I don't even know.
Okay,
like
all right.
3, 4.
So you don't remember the first time you ever sang in front of a crowd?
No, I've been singing so long since I was a kid, so I don't know. I don't know how old I was. No.
Okay.
I was little. I was little. That's all I know.
All right. Do you remember your first time in the studio?
I do.
How was that? I
Wait, I had to think of like, wait, do I?
Nerve-wracking.
I had to remember because sometimes I'll be thinking like, okay, that was my first time, but did I go somewhere before then? But no, the first time I went, yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous, but I was excited too. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. And it was a ratchet studio though, I ain't gonna lie. It was so freaking hood. Like, at the time, I stayed in Inglewood on the south side of Chicago. So, child. So, it was hood. We was in a hood house, child. So, but yeah, but I was happy.
Were you recording for yourself, or was it like a hook for a rapper or something like that?
I was just recording for myself. I had wrote these songs, and I just wanted to hear them back to myself outside of me just singing them. And so, I was like, let me just see how this will sound. And the guys I was working with, too, like, they found me at a, open mic I was performing, and I was like, man, you're amazing. We would love to get you on some tracks and stuff. So that's how it all started, child.
Wow. So, next question. Do you remember your first time ever performing your own music in front of an audience?
Ooh, yeah. I was 18.
Wow.
And what period of time is this? What were you performing back then?
You said, where was I?
Was that Chicago still? Like, what and where were you performing?
That was Chicago. I was 18.
Okay.
17, 18. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so next and last first. I'm going to talk about the first time, and you can chime in. The first time I met you, and then we'll do the reverse, the first time what you remember about meeting me. So when I first met Teeya, it was... oh gosh, I want to say like 6 years ago. And I was invited to like a vocal shed for some singers, and it was like maybe 25 plus maybe singers in the room, and everybody, was going around the room, and they were doing their thing, and they were shedding and just, doing their riffs and their runs and just being creative and all of that good stuff. And I remember seeing Teeya. Teeya was sitting on the couch. And I just remember her telling her story about where she was at the time, what she was going through, what she was coping with. And I just remember her talking about how grateful she was to be in this room, and how we just never know, what people are going through. And she went through that whole moment, and then she opened up her mouth to sing, and it was just like, wow, like I had never heard anybody like that. Not of all of this big room of people, it was like I saw something special. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Like, you can have so many talented people, but when you feel someone special, you just know it. And that was my experience with meeting Teeya for the first time.
Oh man! First of all, I had to make sure my tissue was close, child. Because I was like, oh. Because, man, it's so, and this gets into the album, but it's so many things I don't remember, until a person brings it up. Like, for many reasons, but I just don't remember. When you said it, it drew back my memory like, oh, man, I remember where I was at that time. I remember how good it felt to be around people and to want to be there. You know what I mean? So when you just said that, I wouldn't have not remembered that memory unless you would have said it. Like, I just wouldn't have remembered it. But once you was saying, I'm like, that is where we met. Because I could not remember. I don't know why, but it just seems like we've always just known each other. I couldn't remember, like, what literally did we... Because Atlanta is small, you know what I'm saying? So, and we know some of the same people in the singing circles and outside. So, I couldn't remember, but when you said that, I'm like, oh my God, that's where we met.
Yeah.
So now I know. Like, now it's like, oh, we did. And I remember that big smile.
Yes.
I remember that. And yeah, and no, for real, honestly, I remember the smile, and I remember just friendly immediately. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think it just clicked then because I didn't feel no underlying, like, you know what I'm saying? Which was why I was even saying it was a lot for me to be there, because when you're around a lot of people who do the same thing, it's not a lot of the same energy, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how we met. It was good energy. And I feel like we talked in the kitchen, too, because, you know, that's like all the snacks and stuff like that. So, I feel like we chopped it up in there a little bit, and then since then yeah.
Yeah, we've done a lot. I remember
The first time I experienced her gift, she had opened up for another singer here in Atlanta, and I remember, as you know, being in Atlanta and running in some of the same circles, you get to see this. You sometimes see the same people, and you know, you just it gets a little different. It can be a little cliquey, if you will. And I remember after Teeya performed, she was like walking around the crowd, and everybody was like, "Oh, can I get a picture with you?" And oh my gosh, you know, you were so amazing, and I loved you, and you know, all of that good stuff that you know usually happens. But I remember locking eyes with Teeya, and it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you again. Like, it wasn't fake, it wasn't phony, it wasn't anything that was just put on. I feel like we genuinely had like this connection to where it was like we were genuinely happy to see each other again, and we cackled and whatever, like it was, you know, like we had been friends for years, and that was really special for me. And I was like, this girl, she's just special. So that was like when I knew for sure like I was a fan of Teeya. But I want to talk about my first time ever actually experiencing Teeya in like concert form. I remember it was like, I don't remember I think it was called Nude. Was that Nude? I can't remember. I think it was called Nude, the Nude Experience or something like that. And Teeya, I just remember everybody, like she was singing certain songs, and she would be telling certain testimonies and just speaking to the crowd. And I just remember everybody in the room like eyes full, like crying and just like being healed, and Teeya was right there with us, and it was just like, oh man, this is an incredible thing. So I've always admired and just been awestruck by your gift, and it's so amazing to me how you impact and change people. But I want to know, and I don't think I've ever heard you answer this question, but I want to know, where does that come from? Take us back to a little girl. Who was Teeya's main influence? Who inspired Teeya? Was it an artist? Was it a mom, dad, a choir director? Who was the person that really gave you music and allows you to see music in a different way?
And so first I'm humbled by that, and I feel like I'm near tears the whole time.
oh no.
Because I don't take that for granted, and people may have or say a lot of different things about you. So for people to give you your roses, I don't take that lightly, child. Mm. But I think that a lot of people think that because you sing, like that's where your basis comes from. But that's not where mine came from. So I started as a writer, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I started as a writer. Now, there were people that I loved, like Missy Elliott. I loved her because I loved to dance. I felt like she made music for Chicago. Like, I just did. And I didn't know it at the time, but I saw a lot of myself in her because she's multi-talented. She can rap, she can sing, she can produce, and she was different inside of a system that was the same, you know? Yeah. So I loved her. I loved Outkast. I really went toward people who were really, like, different. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, we all love Brandy, like, because she was different, always will be. She literally created a sonic sound. So, yeah. But I didn't grow up on music, though. I grew up writing. And what I am is I am an expressionist. How do I say this? Well, the term I use is an expressionist. So, okay. I love to express myself. I have to. Like, that's the only way I can, like, let stuff out or breathe or know. You know what I'm saying? That's how I live. Yeah. I express. And so I think the misconception that even I had was I used to think, like, okay, well, maybe I'm a singer. Even though that title never really fully fit. I'm like, I sing, but I don't feel like a singer. I don't like to be in a studio all day. I don't listen to music all the time. I can't tell you whose album is out. Like, I knew people who were more like in love with music than I was, and they couldn't even sing, you know? So I think that I'm in love with expressing myself, and that's where music comes, because it's a form of expression. It's an outlet that I thank God that I had, because a lot of times when I was younger, I did not feel seen and I didn't feel heard, and I wasn't. But music, I feel like it gives me a way to be heard because you can't deny it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that was nothing but God hearing me, like, because I used to write to God all the time, like, why do I have to be different? Why is it like I was miserable as a kid because I never fit in nowhere, and I just experienced rejection. Like, I felt like out the womb, right? I'm already fat. Like, I came out fat, and I came out with slow beginnings, right? So I wasn't the cutest, you know? And so I just felt the rejection from that. And so feeling all those emotions, I would just write about it. And then God gave me another step, which was to turn that into something else, which was music.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If you guys aren't already, I want to remind you guys at this point in the show, please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up. Show Teeya lots of love. Also, drop down in the comments and let us know what you think about what we're here talking about, what we're discussing on tonight. All right? Do that for me, please. All right, my next question, Teeya, please talk about the journey, the evolution from Ikigai, the last album, to Here Now. How does it differ? How do the two differ? How do the two albums differ? What have you learned? How have you grown professionally? All of that. Talk about a little bit of the changes that you've been through since the last album, Ikigai.
Woo! That's a lot. Okay, so I've been through a lot since Ikigai. Shit. To Here Now. That's why it's called Here Now.
All right.
Hear me? Shit. Whew. Okay, so I've been through so many transitions. Ikigai was the mark of the beginning of my life transitioning. And when I say transition, I mean, like, you know, things are changing. You know, things aren't the same. You know, you're not feeling the same about what you do, or maybe who you with, or maybe where you work. But you don't necessarily know how to make those changes, or maybe you're scared to. So in 2016, I had already been feeling that, but was still taking my time. And I think God's like, hey, you've known too long. It's time for more growth. And everything in my life changed. And a lot really was for the better. It wasn't that my life went downhill. Like, a lot of great freaking things happened. But the bottom line was a lot was still changing. And I was realizing how much I hadn't been honest about. And I didn't know. Like, I was still growing up, you know what I'm saying? I came straight to Atlanta from college. So I grew up in Georgia, you know? And,
wow, okay.
Right, so, and shit, you don't know until you know. Like, and so I feel like 2016 for me was the reckoning of, like, what is life? Like, everything I thought life was, it smacked me. Like, it broke, it descended. I was like, I don't even know where I am. And so I went through so many transitions of finding myself, being honest about who I am, being honest about what I wanted, love, dating, having a lot of new first things happen for me just at the age of 26. And that's kind of late, you know what I'm saying, for compared to when people first fall in love or stuff like that, you know? So I was having those experiences a lot later. I left Atlanta, and I had plans when I left Atlanta. I planned on only leaving for a minute. I was like, I just need a minute, you know? I just needed to breathe. I was doing so much. I was working out 3 times a day. I was shooting this, I'm writing this, I'm singing this. I just was overwhelmed, and I was lonely. I was alone, you know? And so a lot of people don't talk about that. Like, everybody, when they see the success, it's like, oh man, you're doing great things. It's like, yeah, but I'm absolutely by myself.
Yeah.
And so, and around so many new people. And so I didn't know who to trust, and that made it even lonelier. So I thought I was only going to be leaving for a little bit, but I ended up not going back. Well, I went back for shows that I was booked for, but I ended up not living there again. And in hindsight, that's what God was trying to do anyway. In 2016, it was time for me to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I didn't know until I did everything that I did. And then I was like, oh, it's time for me to let this chapter go. So I came back to Chicago, did some great things here, linked with some great artists. One of my dear friends, I call him Bishop Harold Green. He has a collective. I'm a part of his collective. It's called FFTL, and did some amazing things. Like my first time working with Google was when I came back to Chicago. Right. So many amazing things. Like I just good things happening, but something inside of me was still heartbroken. And so went from having all these amazing things happening, staying in Chicago, then I went to LA.
So now take us through. Now, what period of time is this? This is 20.
So I'm back in. I left Atlanta in December 2017.
Okay, so this is after Icky Guy comes out. Everything is on a upswing, but still inside.
But inside, just. Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2018 starting to go up a little bit inside, because when I got back to Chicago, I couldn't even sing for a couple months. I know it sounds weird, but my voice wouldn't even lift. That's how sad and broken I was. I couldn't even sing.
Wow.
And I tell like I told you, I mentioned Harold Green. I tell him all the time, if it wasn't for Flowers for the Living, that's the name of his collective, I said, you saved my life, because I was so sad. And one of my music teachers, he always...
Everything is on the upswing.
December 2017.
Okay, so this is after Icky Guy comes out. Everything is on a upswing, but still inside.
But inside, just... Yeah.
Okay.
And then 2018 starting to go up a little bit inside, because when I got back to Chicago, I couldn't even sing for a couple months. I know it sounds weird, but my voice wouldn't even lift. That's how sad and broken I was. I couldn't even sing.
Wow.
And I tell like I told you, I mentioned Harold Green. I tell him all the time, if it wasn't for Flowers for the Living, that's the name of his collective, I said, you saved my life, because I was so sad. And one of my music teachers, he always told us that when I was in college. He said, you know, a singer is sad when they don't sing. And I wasn't singing. And when I would try, it was like my heart was so broken. It's almost like trying to sing and cry at the same time. You can't do it. And that's how it felt.
Now you have tried before. I've seen it.
Listen, but
it don't work out too.
It don't work out. So, so that was that in 2018. Started to be nurtured, be loved. You know, the love from the collective, the love from being home, and keep in mind too, I hadn't been home since I was 18. I had always came to visit, but I haven't been home since I was 18. So in 2018, I was 27. So 28. So it's been 10 years. So felt good. Then 2019 is when I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. Well, I need something else. I don't want to be here. I never wanted to be in Chicago. So I went to LA. Had some great opportunities there. A month after, first of all, I hit the ground running. A month after being there, started working with Disney, started working with VH1 to do some demos. Yeah. Performing all over Hollywood, downtown, all over LA, child, independently. Just some great opportunities. sessions I worked on for big names overseas. Just a lot. I can't see. That's what I'm saying. I can't even remember because I was rushing to one thing on my way to another. You know.
Yeah.
But while I was having so many great, this was the same thing, same feeling revisited. I was having so many great experiences on the outside, but inside I was so unfulfilled. Which brings me to here now.
Okay.
And when we had to go on lockdown, I was still in LA, but I had to move out because the people that I was renting from, they were moving in their families, and all of them was coming in coughing, hacking, sneeze, all kind of stuff, y'all. And was trying to raise the rent. Right, and y'all trying to raise the rent, and y'all sick if y'all don't leave me alone. So I got up out of there, child, and came back again. This is so funny. I came back just like I did in Atlanta. I came back thinking I was only going to be here for 2 weeks because that's what they told us. And I've been here ever since. So that brings me to here now. And here now came about because once I stopped moving and stopped being so busy, I realized like, oh shoot, I'm not okay. Like my heart is not okay. My hopes. I'm performing and I'm doing what I do because I'm a professional. I don't have to think about that. But if I really start thinking about how I feel, I'm in a dissonance with the life I'm living. You know? So that's where Ikigai and Ikigai was about purpose. It was like, okay, God, what's my purpose? Like, why am I here? Like, that's what Ikigai means, reason for being. I was like, what's my purpose here? Why am I here? Maybe what you want me to do, I'm too immature to accept the responsibility of that. And you're right. I wrote those lyrics. Didn't even know I was prophesying. I was telling the truth about my life. Yeah. So Ikigai was about purpose and stuff and ambition and where do I go? What do I do? It was about love. It was about, okay, if I gotta love myself, don't nobody else love me, I'll do it. I was geared up. I was just ready. But here now is about kind of just being done fighting and trying to make things be what I want them to be. Tired of making or looking at people as their potential, as what they could be, instead of just calling a thing. Like, I had gotten so good at seeing the vision of something that I could not face the reality of it. And I didn't know that. I thought I was supposed to look at something and see it better, you know? I thought I was supposed to give things grace, a lot of grace, you know? But it was stopping me from seeing what it really was. Like, because I kept talking about what it could be. Or what, you know, if we just, maybe I can. And so here now it's just like, okay, my benefit of the doubt card has been declined. It don't work no more. So let me say exactly how I feel for exactly who needs to hear it. And it ain't no encouragement on it. It ain't no, it'll get better. Because most of my songs always have that. It's always my conversation with God. Like, okay, God, this is how I feel. And then you'll hear God's response to me. But this album is more therapeutic. It's about me just saying how I feel. I'm not trying to make nobody comfortable about my feelings, which is what I always did. I'm not trying to spare nobody, which is what I always did. It's just me talking. It's just me. And it took me a long time to get there, but shoot, we here now. Shout out to the owl.
Come on, plug.
If you guys are enjoying this conversation, I want to invite you, please, once again, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Please give us a like, give Teeya a like, and also drop down in the comments. Get active. Let us know what you're thinking about this conversation. All right? All right. So, as you guys know, I am a huge Teeya fan, and I have already, been in tune, watching her on Instagram Live, so I kind of know a little bit about what's going on with this album and the rollout. So talk to me a little bit about, how you felt about this album just being streamed and out in the airwaves only. I know you mentioned that you wanted to have something limited edition for people to have tangible
of art, if you will, with this album.
Okay. So here are my babies, which are so They smell great too. They're so beautiful.
I smell them. I smell them.
Yes. And this here is the album cover, and then this is just another picture from the shoot. I figured I'd get my little black Buddha on. And so I created these. One, I love candles. Love, love, love. I started making candles in 2016. I'm a fire sign, so I love fire. And candles, they all have, or they have the 4 elements, right? So, which is what makes them so powerful. I have a sacred space, which is where I wrote these songs too. So a sacred space, just to put it in short, it's a space that's just for you. Nobody can sit there unless you give them permission. But it's really like a throne in a sense. It could be small, it could be big. Mine is like the half of my front room. But it's sacred. In it, you put things in it that you love, things that have great energy. The best thing to do is to put something in it that you made or that you love, because it's going to give it's going to heighten its energy. Most people buy a Buddha and put plants around it and they think they got a sacred space. No, it's a cute space. It's cute. To accentuate, no one else can sit there unless they have your permission. It just needs to be something that's just for you. And so I created these to put in there because here now is all about being present. I missed so many things because I was in so many places in my mind. And when you're creative, you get a million ideas a day, maybe. You know, there's so many things you want to do. There's so many things you can do. And it's so easy for your head to be in the sky. But something has to be on the ground. In the life I was living, everything was up, child. Everything. I'm traveling all over the place. I'm moving over here. I'm going over there. Addresses. I got stuff sent all over the place. Where can we send this? I didn't have grounding. And so that's why I made these candles. And it has here now on there to ground you, to be here, to be present. When your mind gets racing, when your mind gets ahead of you, you got to snatch that thing back and say, have a seat. We're here. We're here now. And I just want to read the intention that I wrote on it to show you. And this really gives you a sense of what the candles are for. You don't have to read this every day. You just read it whenever you need to center yourself. So the intention says, here now is about accepting who you are and where you are now. The first thing says, no matter where people think I should be or where I think I should be, I'm here now. That's a big one. Even though the best is yet to come, I'm okay with being here now. That's a big one because I've lived in the future, child. I ain't never lived in the present. And that's why I can't remember a lot of stuff because I was always forward. So even though the best is yet to come, yes, it is. But it's okay to be here. The next thing is I've experienced loss, death, and disappointments. And that shit hurts. But I'm here now. When my past, when my past tries to haunt me with stories of how I could have done things differently, I will say, maybe so. But I'm here now. As I ground myself through stillness and deep breaths, I will remember with deep gratitude all that I have been through, and I will say, even if I don't understand it, I thank you, God, that I'm here now. The last thing says, forget about what's happened. Don't keep going over old history, but be alert, be present. I'm about to do something brand new. Isaiah 43:18-19. I am here now.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I implore you, please make sure you support these candles, this album. Teeya, where can they get the candles and how do they get them?
The candles are $25 for the set.
Okay.
I'll send you my link for Big Cartel, and I'm shipping them out. Yeah. So, and it's limited edition too. So,
it ain't a million candles left, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, it's really not. We didn't even start out with a million. So, yeah, it's limited edition. So if you want them and they're available, hit that link and I got you.
Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited. Tonight is the night. Here Now, the new album from Teeya Skipper is coming out at midnight everywhere you can get your digital music. Please make sure you support and download, stream, get it however you can. Please support the candles. The link will be in the description. I am so excited, and I am super excited. Tonight, Teeya is going to give us our very first performance. So please make sure you stick around for this hot performance from the Teeya Skipper. We will be right back with that performance.
Started with dear, trying to find the right words to say, speak from my heart instead of fear, 'cause whatever you say, you can't take it back. It's funny how words work like that. And so I'm thinking, I'm steady thinking, ooh, I've got the perfect words for you, oh, yeah. Hope you see that while you're reading, read it out loud so you receive it. For you, hope you get exactly what you deserve. I will never ever trust you. Karma's calling, she's coming for you. You're way too selfish and rude to ever really see what you do. You brought hell to anyone who's loved you. With all my heart, fuck you. By the time I wrote this letter, 'cause now I feel so much better. Hope you read my letter. Now let it change you for the better. Listen, now we don't need to have a conversation, 'cause we done talked about it, and you ain't changing. And every time you give me reason to believe, you disappoint me, then we fall out over the same thing. Ooh, ain't got no words for you. If you could see me now, I have a bird for you. Between me and you, things won't get better. But then you read my fucking letter. For you, I hope you get exactly what you deserve. I will never ever trust you. Karma's calling, she's coming for you. You're way too selfish and rude to ever really see what you do. You brought hell to anyone who's loved you. With all my heart, but you. Ooh, by the time I wrote this letter, 'cause now I feel so much better. Hope you read my letter. Now let it change you for the better. Still, I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you do change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you change, yeah. Yeah, I hope you do change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you do change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you change, yeah, yeah. But part of me knows you won't. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you do change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you change. I hope you do change. I hope you change, yeah. Had to write this letter today, and it changed me. And even though you won't change, I hope you do change. you do.